Number 3 Notre Dame will have its star pair of juniors in the backfield Saturday night at number 7 Miami, and both are apparently healthy. Irish coach Brian Kelly expressed little concern for quarterback Brandon Wimbush or running back Josh Adams on Thursday. Wimbush showed no ill effects from the massive hit his left hand took just before halftime in last week's 4,837 victory over Wake Forest. Kelly said the swelling is down and Wimbush may wear a padded glove on his non-throwing hand to protect it. Here's a slow-mo look at how Brandon Wimbush picked up that hand contusion non-throwing hand. Irish incredibly lucky this wasn't worse. Pic.twitter.com Ozier6pg, Irish Illustrated at Peter_Sampson_November 5, 2017 That is all well and good, but if Wimbush's hand is at all a hindrance, ball security could become an issue, especially going against a Hurricanes defense that has forced 12 fumbles in 8 games, recovering 7 of them. Obviously, limiting Wimbush to the pocket to avoid such concerns would neuter the Notre Dame rushing attack of its most problem-causing threat. Wimbush's option to run at any point forces the greatest defensive adjustments and plays a key role in Adams' success. The latter being healthy and well-rested plays a key role, as well. After last weekend, that is now something to keep an eye on. I definitely learned from last week, which is a great thing about football, the Heisman hopeful said Wednesday. You're constantly learning and have to do better, so taking care of my body a little bit more and feeling good. Kelly said junior running back Dexter Williams is not 100% recovered from the quad contusion which hampered him last week on what would usually have been a breakaway touchdown, adding, "He can still definitely help us." Junior tight end Alize Mack has been cleared from a concussion. Fifth-year receiver Cam Smith, however, will be out as he continues to work through a hamstring strain that necessitated a platelet replacement procedure Wednesday. Lastly, senior cornerback Nick Watkins will be managing knee tendonitis. If sophomore Troy Pride sees an abundance of playing time, presume that to be the reason. Miami is flying high, as are its fans. Will Notre Dame struggle in a genuine road atmosphere? Some may scoff at this as a possible factor Saturday 9:08 p.m. ABC, but with a first-year starter and a few other young starters in the mix, particularly both options at right tackle, the Hurricanes fans will have their opportunity to make an impact. Yet another interception from Irish sophomore cornerback Julian Love could do wonders for mitigating Miami's home crowd Saturday night. App photo Namwaiha There will be some nerves and they'll have to settle into the game, Kelly said. They've been really good at, once they get into the game, they've settled in nicely. But there will be moments early on that they have to settle into it. The Irish avoided this particular challenge at Michigan State by getting out to a 2-possession lead, partly thanks to the momentum-sealing interception returned for a touchdown by sophomore cornerback Julian Love within the first 5 minutes of the game. Otherwise, that could have established a data point for this particular query. It also helped that the Spartans were not yet respected as a 2017 contender as they are now, having risen to number 12 in the College Football Playoff Selection Committee rankings. That crowd had not yet bought in on its season. Miami's has, deservedly so. On the flip side of the ball, was last week's defensive performance really just due to distractions? And malaise, or did Notre Dame have something more concerning afoot? The Hurricanes average 31.5 points and 461 yards per game. It is safe to expect them to find offensive success at some point Saturday night. Two recent Irish foes present similar profiles. USC averages 35.2 points and 492.4 yards per game. Wake Forest averages 31.9 points and 445 yards per game. The former fell short of those averages at Notre Dame, scoring only 14 points and gaining 336 yards. The latter exceeded those averages at Notre Dame to the tune of 38 points and 587 yards. It is hard to believe only 2 weeks separated those performances. Kelly continues to point to something of a defensive indifference allowing for the Demon Deacons to run wild in the game's final third, and he continues to insist it is no longer an issue. They practiced the way that they had practiced leading up to last week, he said. Every week they had created a new line of scrimmage. Last week they did not create a new line of scrimmage in practice. Apparently defensive coordinator Mike Elko made it very clear what led to Saturday's issues. Kelly said Elko found 6 plays from practice Wake Forest ran successfully in the game. In each of them, the lack of execution was foreseen in a lack of execution at practice. Wake Forest hardly struggled against the Irish defence in last week's second half. App photo Namwaiha. It was easy to go back to how we prepared, Kelly said. He was great at showing our players that it's in their preparation and they've prepared very well defensively this week. Perhaps, the lackluster performance a week ago will actually serve to aid the Irish this weekend. Whenever you have a bad performance, you always come back with a chip on your shoulder, senior linebacker and captain Drew Tranquil said. A lot of the guys after the game were ready to put the patch back on and go right back out there because we felt we let one go. To feel like you let one get away and still get a win is quite the treat on its own. To take that feeling and then channel it into a better showing a week later on the road against a top 10 opponent would make every point Wake Forest scored a worthwhile allowance in Notre Dame. Can the Irish win a close game? Let's just present a series of facts. Notre Dame has not had to turn to Wimbish to lead a game-winning, last-minute drive in 2 months. That is not a bad thing. No coach in the world will begrudge blowing out each and every opponent. When Wimbish did get his chance against Georgia in the season's second week, his first attempt sputtered and his second was cut short by an unblocked defensive end. He has never had a genuine chance to show the poise, command of the playbook and quick thinking needed to win a collegiate game in its last minute. The last time the Irish prevailed in a only possession game was also Miami's last defeat, October 29, 2016. Notre Dame won 3,027. Since then, the Irish have gone 0-3 in only possession games. Before that victory, one has to trace back to November 21, 2015, for such a win, 1916 versus Boston College at Fenway Park. Since then, Notre Dame has gone 17 in only possession games. The last time the Irish beat a ranked foe in a tight game was October 31, 2015, a 2,420 victory at number 21 Temple, undefeated at 70 heading into that game, including a win over Penn State. Miami has won 4 games by only possession this season. Considering the Hurricanes remain undefeated, they have indeed not lost such a contest. Miami and senior quarterback Malik Rosier have shown the ability to win tight football games. Notre Dame and Wimbish have not, though in no small part because they have simply not needed to.